most of our students, they've done it over and over and over. So they've done that. So they should be able to, you know, if they retain that, they're going to remember that. But you give them instructions, clear and concise instructions, with not a bunch, okay, so now what I want you to do, it's real simple. Draw a line from this to this and show them, or, you know, maybe you have a whiteboard, or even show them on the PowerPoint, and then erase it to give them something to look at. Now, again, at level 2, which is what we're talking about, level 2, when they're doing the app family or word family, there is generally multiples of everything. And with the rubric shows if they get 5 to 7 questions, they get full credit. So if you're demonstrating, you know, to help them kind of not give them the answer, but give them right where they need to be and kind of lead, it's, I've taught over 5,000 classes. So I kind of have had my fair share of everything that could go wrong and then some. And that, through failure, I've learned so much. But the one thing that I can tell you is consistent from when I first started to where I am now is that prep. I cannot tell you how important prepping up for your classes and preparing for your classes will make a huge difference with timing, with how you present, with everything. The whole thing is, if you are completely prepared for your classes, and with an assessment, you don't really change the way that you're teaching, other than the fact that I'm not going in to teach my student. I'm going in to assess my student. If my student makes a mistake, I am absolutely there to help them and correct them 100% of the time, and take teaching opportunities if one was to happen. But I go in to assess the student. That means asking questions. I still do the I do, we do, you do philosophy, because in an assessment, if you've been doing this the entire lesson and that's how you've taught your student, and that's how you can't change it now. Now is the end game. You can't just say, it was great, there you go. You can't change that. You have to keep your methodology, or especially if it's your student, you have to keep as consistent as possible. And that's really, I demonstrate for my students. If we are working on an app family or ill or whatever, I'll circle in and say ill, and then I will draw them a line to whatever, so that helps them, that gets them, that's a friendly reminder. I'm not telling them the answers. I'm not putting the blends together. It saves so much time when you do that. And you use that TPR, you still use your supplemental tools so that your student knows what's to expect. Okay, so with regards to the UA, I grade as I go. I grade throughout. The rubric goes down. It makes it so much easier. If there's something that's specific that I need to know, I'll jot down a note or something. But generally speaking, I grade as I go, and I do not leave feedback in between classes. So I should give you full disclosure right there. I don't leave feedback in between classes because I don't have time, because I believe that feedback is so important for mom and dad, for you and the student, for you to have that triangle relationship, because it's a team. So in my feedback, I'm going to start off with the normal sandwich model that we should always use, with the positives. What did my student do well? Now, when I'm leaving that feedback, I'm looking at my rubric also. So if I took off for a point for whatever, maybe I had to help them with a sentence, I'm going to tell them exactly why I took off for this or for that. Not only, please have them continue to work in this area, but why? Why is it important that we use articles when we're speaking? Why is that important to the English language? So that they understand. And then what can they do to continue to work, to improve? But that's kind of how I do. I give specific feedback to my students, what they did well, where they can continue to work on, and why it's important.